注意。イタリア人たちはこの黄金のことを本土へ報告しないことを望んでいます。
Alright guys, welcome back to some more Umineko, When They Cry. I can't promise that this part is going to be very long, considering I have to go in an hour. So an hour should be lengthy enough, I hope, for y'all. But yeah, I just came from reading the recent One Piece chapter, so my mind is still... I mean, it's probably going to continue being like this for the whole day, the whole week. I just came from reading what I can only describe as one of the best flexes, the biggest flexes I think I've ever seen in manga. It was such a big flex. It was a humbling, a real humbling, to say the least. And wow, wow. Already, I mean, I'm not gonna say anymore. Again, I don't want to spoil One Piece here, so I won't. So that would suck. I would absolutely hate spoiling One Piece for anybody. So we're gonna keep reading Umineko here. So last time in Umineko, we got to see Beato and Kinzo talking it out. We got to see their connection, you know, building up and whatever. We learned some new stuff, and learned stuff about you know, the Italians and what's going on with the crew and everything and all that. And then the gold popped out. They finally they can have the gold be in the submarine the whole entire time, and so they popped it out with the help of the Japanese, you know, Nokinjima. And after, you know, discussing with the interpreter, with the, you know, the interpreter being Kenzo, obviously, discussing the interpreter and Beato, the two interpreters, right, and the captain of the Italians. The Italians are now telling Kenzo to tell the lieutenant to not tell the mainland about this gold, right? Makes sense. So I've thought about it, you know, between parts, between last part and this part, and I thought to myself, okay, so we have 10 tons of gold. We have Italians that came, you know, from a long journey, and friggin' 80% of them died. Literally, yeah, only 10 of them are left, right? And there's 50 originally, so that would be 80%, unless my percentages are wrong. That would be 80% of them died, and then you have the Japanese here, Nokinjima, and they're all just held depressed. I mean, look at the environment they're in. Look at this. There's been spider webs everywhere and stuff. I mean, that's rough, buddy. So they're not having a good time. And then there's 10 tons of gold. So I'm just thinking to myself, right? I'm just thinking to myself, this ain't gonna end well. This ain't gonna end well. No, I mean, I know the Italians and the Japanese are supposed to be allies. I mean, not the Italians. At least the RSI are supposed to be allies with the Japanese. But because it's an uninhabited island, I can't imagine this ending well. I've just thought. Uh, we've already learned what happens when people battle with gold prior in this visual novel. You know what I mean? The Rockin' Gym explosion accident, that whole thing, right? I mean, you know, when a group of people gather to discuss a large sum of money, people die. That's what we learned. And a massacre is going to happen. So, but it does seem like Kenzo and Beato, at the very least, those two somehow survived this massacre. So I wonder if Kenzo and Beato managed to find shelter or something, and that's how they survived this massacre. That's probably going to happen soon. Is another explosion going to happen? Is it going to be like Eva? Another explosion is going to happen, but they escape to another place in the island, and then they come back, and it's only them two remaining somehow, because they all killed each other, and the last person standing just bled to death or something, and Kenzo and Beato then just had their gold all for themselves. That would be an interesting way for things to go. But certainly, this can't go well. That is what I'm suspecting, especially because I was thinking to myself, how... Okay, the gold is here between parts. I was thinking, okay, so if the gold is here, right, how is it that Kinzo managed to get hold of this gold all for himself? And you know, 9 months would have needed to pass at least for Kinzo's daughter to be born, and Kinzo then buys the entire island. So I'm thinking all of that. For all of that to happen, ain't no way Kinzo's gonna get a hold of the gold while all these guys are still alive. There's no way these Japanese military men, this Lieutenant Yamamoto guy, and the Italians, there's no way they're all going to be alive if, there's no way they're all alive if Kinzo ends up owning the gold and ends up, you know, prospering the Shurima family using the gold, right? I can't imagine. I can't imagine. So they would need to die because then there would be no witnesses to the gold, basically. And that's why Kinzo's able to go, yeah, I got some gold. Hey, yeah. So yeah, okay. The Tanzan want to tell the mainland about this gold. Alright? Let's keep reading.
我が国に横領されたくないからであろうな。
Don't want to take possession of it. Well, the entire plan of Berto's father, his entire plan was to come over here and keep the gold for a couple of years, right? Just keep the gold to himself for a couple of years, so that after the war, because weapons can't be done, you can't do anything with weapons after the war, but you can do something with gold after the war with money. They're planning to just sit here until the war was over and then end up using the money. If that was the plan, right? Then yeah, I mean, they don't want your country to take possession of it. Sure, that's also they kept it hidden from you. But they probably also don't want the other Italians, the Kingdom of Italy, to find out about it either, right? That's the only thing I'm thinking.
彼は何と？
日本が黄金を横領するのを恐れているから報告されたくないのだろうと言っている。
He's saying your group probably doesn't want it reported because you fear that Japan will take possession of the gold.
少尉はむしろイタリア本国に知られることを恐れているわ。
Oh, okay, really? Okay. Because I was thinking, yeah, they're probably thinking of Italy, the Kingdom of Italy, finding out. But why are you saying he's more afraid of Italy finding out? I understand the worry, you know, you don't want Italy themselves finding out, but why more afraid? Shouldn't be shouldn't be the main reason for the Japanese to take possession of it?
私たちにとって今の祖国は連合国の傀儡政権。彼らに知られれば黄金は返還することになる。しかしそれは私たちの敵に黄金を渡すようなもの。
Right, because Japan is not technically your enemy yet. Right. So the Japanese having the gold, that's fine. Japanese knowing about the gold, that's fine. But giving it to the puppets of the allies, that's not what you want. I see. Okay. They had come all this way to make sure that the gold didn't fall into enemy hands. They needed to hide this gold from the puppet government until their homeland could be truly restored. Restored. I mean, what happened to Italy after World War II? Didn't they just, It's not like it's not like the fascists returned, right? The fascists were kind of done for after World War II, right? Italy then became a more democratic government, right? Surely. I mean, I actually don't know how Italy's governed nowadays. I'm not gonna tell you I'm knowledge about that, but surely, I mean, I don't imagine that fascists rule the country nowadays. Yeah.
イタリア人たちに提案せよ。我々は協力を申し出たいとな。
We should offer our assistance.
協力とは
イタリア人たちの言い分はこうであろう。彼らはその黄金を祖国に知られることなく隠したいわけだ。しかしこの島から運び出そうとすれば輸送船を手配せねばならなくなる。そうすれば本土に知られ、さらにはイタリア本国にも知られることとなる。
Okay.
そうなります。つまりあの黄金はもう六軒島からは運び出せない。
Okay. Their mission must have been to hide that gold in absolute secrecy until the day of their homeland's restoration. Later on, several plausible rumors would circulate about how Germany also moved much of its secret wealth to certain hidden areas in South America just prior to its surrender. Yep, that is. There are rumors. There's plenty of rumors about Germany and South America post World War II, and some of them were true actually. There were a lot of German Nazi officers that did flee to South America, and did actually manage to live out the rest of their lives there, which is kind of unfortunate. They didn't get properly, properly got in court. But yes, some of them did succeed in that specific scenario. It was a very natural conclusion to reach. Okay. That submarine was their only method of transporting the gold in secrecy, and it's become completely useless. They can't fully stop the water from seeping in, and it'll probably sink completely before much longer. Right. There's no longer any way for them to transport the gold in secrecy. In other words, the mission has ended in failure here in the Far East. I see. So, what the lieutenant is trying to propose is that, alright, we can't travel with the boat no more. So here's what we do. You give us a part of the gold, right? You give us like, I don't know, half the gold. Nah, that's probably asking for much. But I mean, maybe they would. You know what I mean? Maybe the lieutenant is thinking, alright, give us half the gold, and we'll let you keep the gold here in secrecy until the war is over. Maybe. But then, if the lieutenant does that, people are gonna die. That especially if the lieutenant decides to do something like that. Like, yeah, give us 50% of the gold. Ain't no way the lieutenant's gonna take them and be like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Nah, the lieutenant's gonna try to kill them off. Just like, alright, kill off our enemies. Alright, kill off the Japanese, and then we can take this out for ourselves and the gold for ourselves. Why are we giving part of our gold to these Japanese people in this island? Come on now. But I bet that's what he's trying to propose. So, just how is Lieutenant Yamamoto proposing that we assist them? Yeah, by letting them hide it, not in the mainland, and then they get a cut of the gold. That's probably his plan, right? At least that seems the most sensible play here.
近隣の島民たちはこの島を不吉な無人島と信じて近寄りもしない。言っている意味がわかるか？後ろや。
You can keep the gold hidden here for probably years without anyone finding out. Yes, that's what you mean.
彼は何と？
前にも話した通り、この六軒島基地は誰にも知られていない。見ての通り、戦略価値は何もなく、上層部にもすでに忘れられてる。注意は、この島に黄金を隠してはどうかと提案したいみたいだ。
Beatrice quickly translated this and told Ensign Angelo. The Ensign began discussing rapidly with his subordinates. Ensign, yeah, you know what, forget it. Forget what I was trying to say. My bad. This began discussing rapidly with his subordinates, okay? They didn't look happy. Yep, I bet they've already realized what the lieutenant's trying to do here. Japan may have been their ally, but they probably didn't want the gold for reconstructing their homeland to be entrusted to Asians. Still, it's hard to imagine any other option for them.
激しく議論しているわ。他に手はないという者もいるし、それでも祖国に忠誠を尽くすべきだという者もいる。少尉は板挟みになってるわ。
Hiding this gold was the final order given to them by their fallen homeland. However, by now, there was no way for that order to be carried out successfully. if the mainland or their own homeland found out, the gold would probably be confiscated by the wrong people from their point of view. If they really wanted to carry out their homeland's orders faithfully, Lieutenant Yamamoto's proposal was extremely reasonable. The lieutenant couldn't understand their words. It seemed he realized how divided they were.
我々が協力すればあの黄金を厳重に隠すことができるぞ。幸いなことに廃棄された地下壕が長々とこの島の地下を横断している。
この島の地下に黄金を隠して埋めれば誰にも発見できないと言ってる。
And you know what? He's right. I speak from experience. I speak from 40 years of experience. He's right. If you bury the gold underground, no one will find it unless they solve the riddle of the epitaph. But that riddle was made for finding the gold. So without that riddle, no one really will be able to find it. Nobody found it for 40 years. You know, after this war is over, Kinzo has possession of the gold, and he hides it underground on Rokkenjima somewhere. And for 40 years, nobody found out about it. He actually makes a valid point. Nobody will be able to find out. So this is speaking facts.
現実的な申し出だと議論してるわ。でも日本人の手を借りるのに抵抗を感じてるみたい。
Surely they must realize there's a catch to it, right? Surely, if I'm one of the Italians right now, I'd be thinking, hey, no way they're just gonna assist us like this, right? There must be a catch. Of course, they want to cut out the gold. I'd come to that realization immediately. There's no way.
議論が難航しているようです。
Ain't no way this Japanese lieutenant is gonna assist us in keeping this gold hidden here from the mainland without wanting any chunk of the gold at all. He'll be totally cooperative about it the whole way through. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Come on now.
議論の余地などあるのかイタリア人。我々の協力なくばあの黄金は隠せんぞ。
Italia G.
まさかいつまでも波打ち際に積み上げておくわけにもいくまい。
アンジェロ少尉は黄金のことを知る人間を最小で抑えたいみたい。日本人は信用できないけど山本中尉の申し出が今は最善と見てるみたいよ。でもいぶかしがってるわ。
Obviously, he should be suspicious. He's right to be suspicious.
何を
10トンの黄金を隠すという労力の提供と守秘義務を彼らが本当に無償で提供してくれるのかとね。
Valid.
五分と五分。
50-50. See? See? I knew something like that was gonna happen. Of course, 50-50. That's what he's demanding.
注意、それはまさか。
50-50 is a lot. 10 tons of gold. He wants 5 tons of it. That's quite a bit.
あの黄金の半分を我々によこせ。
I would have been like 15%. He's asking for 50%. I would have been 15%. I would have gone little. I don't know, man. I mean, 15% is quite a lot. 50% of 10 tons of gold. That's 1.5 tons. That's quite a bit. How much was 10 tons of gold worth again? Was 20 billion yen? Was it? That's what, $200 million. Right? $200 million. Like, imagine 15% of that. What's 15% of 200 million? That would be like it's like, let me see, 230. That'd be 30 million, right? Wait, no. No way, no, 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 no. Yeah, 30 million. Yes, actually. Yes, 30 million. So I'm thinking in my head, right? $30 million. I'd take that. I'd take that. He's asking for 100 mil. So he's gonna negotiate for 100 mil. I would have negotiated for 30 mil. Like, give them most of it, at least. Because I mean, either way, you're going to ask for compensation, right? And they're already expecting to ask for compensation. 50-50? Okay.
それを手間賃に残りの半分を厳重に隠してやる。
半分をよこせと言ってる。
The instant Beatrice translated that sentence. Inside, Angelo slammed his hands on the desk and stood up. This is not... You're all gonna die. You're gonna kill each other, y'all. If I'm one of the military people on either side, I'm running off to some part of the island where they can't find me. Because if I was them right now, in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, we're gonna kill each other. They're going to end up killing each other. I'm running, bro. I'm finding a hiding spot somewhere on the island. We know Rockin' Gym is sizable enough. I can find myself some hiding spot. Ain't no way am I joining in on this bloodbath. I mean, okay, let's keep reading. Instead of flinching, Lieutenant Yamamoto, true to his boast of once being a thug that everyone feared, actually looked even more relaxed and confident than he had previously.
本来なら断りようのない話だ。8割を要求してもおかしくない。
That would be crazy.
それを敬意を表して五分と五分にしようと提案しているのだ。これは我々だけに有意な話ではない。イタリア人たちが外部にこのことを漏らせば、全ての黄金は日本かイタリアに接収されるだろう。我々には1円たりとも転がり込んでこない。我々は全員が共犯でなくてはならない。
You make a good point there, to be fair. Yeah, because he wants to, realistically you want to be a partner in crime here, right? But I don't know, man. Asking for 50-50 is a lot. Although, how many Japanese military men are on the island? Because 30 million split across, let's say there's 30, you get 1 million. 1 million each is still pretty good though. If there, let's say there are 30 Japanese and 10 Italians right now, I'd take 1 million if there's 30 of us. I'd take it. I'd be very happy. You know what I mean? We don't need, 100 million. 100 million divided by 30, then everyone would get at least 3 each, right? 3 million each, which would be nice. I would get more than 3 million each actually, which would be nice. But I would take 1 million. I would easily take 1 million, personally. So I don't know. You're asking for much with 50 million, but okay. You know what? With 50, but okay. All right.
全員に着服の共犯になれと言ってる。
Embezzlement.
周囲はすでに軍人としてでなく個人として話をしている。
なんてこと。黄金に目がくらんだのね。
Lieutenant Yamamoto's grinning. It really did look as though he had been blinded by greed, just as Beatrice said.
あのまま山積みにしていれば、やがて本土から来る向かいの連中の目にいやおうなく入る。そうなれば、ここにいる誰もが得をしないぞ。我々の申し出を受け、早急に黄金を隠すべきだ。
アンジェロ少尉は日本政府やイタリア政府にはどうしても知られたくないみたい。彼は自分が与えられた任務に最後まで責任を持ちたいみたい。
つまりどういうことだ。
何割かを口止め料として与えてでも島内に地中深く埋めることを望んでるわ。もちろん下士官たちには異論もあるみたい。 5割は問題外だと憤慨してるわ。
後ろ宮、イタリア人たちの感触はどうだ。
彼らも黄金がこれ以上の人目につくことを望んでいないようです。しかし取り分に異論があるようです。
少尉は1割ならば検討できると言ってるわ。
They'll consider 10%. Ah, you gotta raise that. 10% is too little. I'm saying 15%. Consider 15%, bro.
無論山本中尉がそれで納得しないだろうと言ってるけど。
Yeah, no way. Especially the person that just asked for 50, he's not gonna accept 10%. No way. 10% of 20 billion, that's 10% of 200 million. That is $20 million. Which means I would get like 670k out of that. If there are 3 of us, I'll get 670k dollars. I want the milli! I want the milli! I'm greedy! Give me 15%. Greedy!
後ろ宮、イタリア人の返事はいかに。
1割なら検討すると。
This time, it was Lieutenant Yamamoto who slammed down on the desk. But the Italians didn't flinch either. An incredible tension filled the small room. However, despite his violent outburst a second ago, Lieutenant Yamamoto's expression still looked smug and in control. He is probably confident that he now had the initiative.
1割 ?1 割か。それはいいだろう。
Ah,
なら1割を譲ってやろう。
dang. That was a long pause mid-sentence by that guy.
しぶろくだ。
40-60. Okay. I'm gonna take 40%. Still sounds much though.
これ以上は譲らんと伝えろ。
40% for the Japanese, 60 for the Italians. The lieutenant made it sound like he was willing to stand firm on that, but in truth, these negotiations were not being made on an equal footing. If the Italians just wanted the gold for themselves, there wouldn't be much of a problem. But what if they really were true patriots and decided that they ought to return the gold, even to the defeated puppet government of their homeland, for the purpose of reconstruction? If so, they would probably report the existence of the gold to the Italian embassy. Eventually, the Italian government would petition the Allied nations for the retrieval of their gold. It probably wouldn't all make it back to Italy, but it might be used effectively to repair and rebuild the battered towns. If that happened, Lieutenant Yamamoto and his friends would only be able to sneak out a few ingots at most. He was greedily planning to make this his own treasure island, so that he and his subordinates could have an enormous fortune all to themselves. If he wanted those ambitions to bear out, the Italians would have to conceal the presence of the gold.
Shikashi, 疑問だ。アンジェロ少尉が誰にも黄金を渡したくないなら、沈みゆく潜水艦に任せて沈めればよかったはず。どうして荷揚げを？
Because surely if you're in San Angelo, surely you'd rather the gold go to the... Because he wouldn't want to not... Surely from his POV he doesn't want nobody to have the gold. Surely somebody should have the gold. Right? Surely he'd rather the puppet government have the gold. Would he? Would he rather the puppet government have the gold? or maybe he's betting on. Maybe he's betting on these. But I mean, if he takes 60, if Inside Angel takes 60% of the gold, that's still solid. That's better than nobody having the gold, right?
考えたくはないけれど、命令が遂行不能になった時点で少尉はこの黄金を横領することを考え始めたのかも。彼は今下士官たちに軍人としての意見と祖国に家族が待つ一個人としての意見を聞きたいと言っているわ。
Right. So both sides plan to are planning embezzlement of the gold.
堅物の下士官たちは激高してる。
The discussion between the Italians was becoming fierce and emotional. Though their homeland had fallen, they had come all this way in accordance with its old orders. They had probably been given this mission because they were particularly faithful and duty-minded troops. It seemed they couldn't just agree to a foreigner's proposal to embezzle and split up the gold. Inside Angelo looked like he was doing all he could to calm the unexpectedly fervent rage of his subordinates. Looks like the gold is binding them too. It seems no one can sort out their own personal feelings and the way they want to be perceived.
奴らの返答はいかに。後ろ宮。
リーちゃん。
I forgot that was her nickname now. Stop it, Kinto. Stop calling her that. I can't handle it. I can't.
周囲が返事を求めてる。
Okay.
考える時間が欲しいと言ってるわ。私はあなたと話せたから気が紛れてよかったけれど、他の人たちはそうじゃないの。とても長い後悔の果てに大勢の仲間を失って極限状態でここにいるわ。唯一の心の拠り所だった任務ももはや喪失してる。どうすればいいのか彼らも分かってないの。
注意、彼らは時間が欲しいと言っています。
いいとも大いに議論したらいい。しかし時間はないぞ。隠すとなったら時間と手間がかかる。明日の正午までに結論しろ。
For noon tomorrow? Okay, so people are going to die tonight. Got it. People are definitely going to be dying tonight.
異常だ、イタリア人ども。
That's all Italians are. She's letting them all go, and yeah, people dying tonight.
回答期限明日の正午だぞ。周囲まるで脅迫だ。
少尉は全員の意見を聞くと言ってるわ。
There's only 10 of you, right? Come on. There's not a lot of opinions to go through.
感触は
多分難航するわ。少尉自身は山分けもあり得ると考えてるみたいだけど、下士官や他の仲間たちは多分反対するわ。みんなこの極東までの航海で大切な仲間を大勢失ってる。彼らは堅くなに祖国への忠誠を貫きたがってる。
周囲の申し出は断ると。
断ってもどうせ黄金は誰かの手に渡るわ。何も残らないならせめてインゴットの一本ずつでも密かに持ち帰ろうという少尉の言い分に同調者も出そうだけど、こういう時の男って勢いだけが迷走するわ。 私も見当がつかない。イタリア人たちの胸中は複雑でしょうね。
I feel like if you're just gonna take, if nothing to be left anyway, and you take some, at least one ingot each to take away, I feel like you'd rather just accept the lieutenant's proposal of giving them 40% and get 60%. Right? Why would just take some ingots? Some others seem to agree. I don't know. I don't think I can back that decision. But let's see.
彼らにとって降伏後のイタリアは敵国同然だろう。黄金をそのイタリアに返還するのは彼らの長い旅路を全て否定するのと同じだ。
しかし黄金を着服して山分けすることも彼らの旅路の否定になります。
Sure, it would, but
彼らが義理立てすべき策はすでに滅んだ。その時点で彼らの旅路の意味などもう失われている。気の毒な話だ。
it really isn't. No. The bad time either way.
どうせ意味のないことならインゴットの一本でもありつけた方がまだマシだと。
I mean, maybe, but I feel like at that point you just embezzle the gold. Better than keeping a few ingots. Just go on with the embezzlement plan. Like, yes, it would ruin the purpose, but I mean, if it's, I don't know. But then, yeah, but then they would be giving some of the gold to the Japanese, to these guys, and that's also not a desirable thing.
損得感情で言えばそうなる。そうならねえのが男ってもんだな。
But men aren't like that. Men go straight to killing. Isn't that right, Bill? Men won't go to. They'll kill each other for possession of the gold. I think that's what Will is trying to allude to. Because that is the only way I can see Kinzo getting a hold of gold by the end. And then Kinzo and Beato somehow managed to survive. They might have hid themselves somewhere. Maybe Kinzo knew a secret hiding spot. Because Kinzo's been living here or something. The Italians were gathered in a cramped room, arguing fiercely.
反対です。死んだ戦友たちのためにも断固軍人魂を貫くべきです。
貫くとはどういうことか。この島に黄金を隠せということか。東洋人たちの申し出を受けるということか。
東洋人たちは信用できません。特にあの山本という男、断じて油断できません。黄金を荷上げして日本人たちに見られたのはやはり失敗でした。
Man, these Italians talking Japanese are really good at speaking Japanese and not Italian, even though they're supposed to be talking Italian with each other. That's crazy.
艦と共に沈めるべきでした。
日本人の基地で沈めてどうする。やがていつかは引き上げられる。隠したことにはならない。いずれにせよこの島から黄金を誰にも知られずに運び出す方法はない。
洋上で名誉ある自鎮を選んでいたらこんなことには。
Scuttled sub? What does scuttling the sub mean? What even is that word? Wait. I'm gonna need to Google scuttling the sub. I've never heard of that word in my life. Actually, for real, never heard that word in my life. Scuttle. Scuttle. A metal container with a handle? Used to fetch and store coal for a domestic fire? What? Oh, okay. There's multiple meanings of scuttle, okay? The second meaning. Run hurriedly or furtively with short, quick steps. An act or sound of scuttling. What? Oh, there's another meaning to scuttle. Sink one's own ship deliberately by holding it or opening its sea cocks to let water in. See? See? So, sinking one's own ship. So, scuttling the submarine. Got it. That's what he's trying to argue for. Alright. Alright. So, that's what he's trying to say. Alright. Thank you, Google Translate. Not Google Translate. Thank you, Google definitions, I guess. For let me know what that word means. Scuttle the sub. Alright. I more or less could have guessed what that word meant, but I don't to be sure. Alright.
艦のダメージが致命的だったことがあの時点で分かっていたら、どうしてあの時少佐は日本軍に救援要請を。日本軍にこの黄金のことを知られたら、少佐はどう任務を遂行するつもりだったんだ。
少佐が救援要請を出した時点で我々の任務はもう失敗していたんだ。諸君にも祖国で待つ家族がいるはずだ。
家族。
そして極東の島国までよく航海に耐えた。それに対するこれは正当な報酬なのだという考え方もある。
But she really accomplished nothing if the gold just goes back to enemy hands. What have you accomplished? Yeah, we've done our service.
あの時日本人に助けながら
絶対に反対だ。死んだ親友たちが浮かばれない。こんな目に。
Could have at least had the chatter be in Italian. Man.
少尉、日本人が友好的でない場合、我々は最終的解決手段を辞さない覚悟が必要です。
Yep. Here we go. Extreme measures.
伍長、最終的解決手段とは何か。
I mean, isn't it kind of obvious? Corporal. Someone gulped. Corporal? Ensign and corporal? Okay. A stiff tension hung over the room. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but this is this. Okay.
日本人たちはたるみ切っています。
Pushovers.
実戦経験もない腰抜けばかりです。我々は精兵です。
You're elites.
すでに基地内の間取りのほぼ全てと日本人の人数、配置状況は把握しています。少尉の命令があれば短時間で制圧できるでしょう。戦闘員と思わしきは山本を含めて数人程度。残りは軍属の作業員風情です。上辺の人数は日本人が上ですが、実質兵力ではこちらが優位です。
日本人を殺せば迎えの船が来た時それをどう説明する。ごまかしようがないぞ。
死体さえ見つからなければどうとでもごまかせます。
Just you know, hide the corpses. Yeah, actually, what did happen to the corpses after this? Did Kinzo and Beato just leave the corpses on the ground? For 40 years, those corpses are have just been underground for 40 years? Man, the place must have been stinking, right? Imagine you go there now in 1986. Then surely you just have skeletons left, right? Surely this place stinks. I mean, I don't know, maybe Kinzo cleaned up the corpses using some of the gold afterwards? I don't know.
少尉、この基地を制圧するのは容易です。山本以下主要な兵士数人を殺してみせればあっさりと作業員たちは降伏するでしょう。彼らに黄金を運ばせ地中に埋めましょう。もちろん彼らの口は永遠に塞ぎますが、
日本人たちを皆殺しにするということか。
Yeah.
殺しましょう。
Let's do it. Massacre.
全員殺せば黄金のことは誰にも知られずに済むのです。
At that moment, the door, which had supposedly been locked, opened slightly, and a metal object was thrown in. It's a grenade! That's a grenade! Grenade.
グラナダ
Yep. Yep. The girl switch hunt. Okay. I was kind of obvious. Okay. Granada! Grenade, baby. As the yell rang out, the table was kicked over to be used as a shield, and they all dropped to the floor. Boom, baby! However, in this cramped room, it probably wouldn't do them any good. Nope. Most of them will probably die from this grenade. The towns were all prepared for death. Yeah. Where's Beato at, by the way?
不発不発
It's a dud? What? Fortunately, the shoddy grenade was a dud. That's crazy. You could have killed them all in one fell swoop and you had a dud grenade? That's crazy, y'all. Japanese, you failed there. What are you doing? The door was slammed open and 3 Japanese soldiers wielding pistols jumped in.
クソったれ不発イタリア人ども殺せ殺せ殺せ
当選しろ各自18歩
In this small room, no matter who shot where, it was bound to hit someone, yeah? The exchange of bullets instantly caused a rain of blood, with casualties on both sides. Yeah, I can expect that. The 3 who had jumped in were covered with bullet holes and fell over, moaning and thrashing. Japanese, I can't believe you failed like that. You had the grenade advantage and you used a dud? That's actually crazy. It was a small room and most of the elite fighters seemed to have been there. Maybe Beato wasn't there herself, but the elite fighters were there. You could have just taken care of them all of them right there. If that grenade wasn't a dud, man, imagine how different Umineko's story would have been. Actually imagine, if that grenade wasn't a dud. Because that grenade was a dud, the story of Umineko and Kinzo and the Shume family and Beato Riche and Battle would have been so different. That one grenade changed the course of history. That's crazy.
Gino! Gino!
Okay, I said the course of history, but changed the course of Japan. You know.
クソ肺をやられてる助からない
Who's Gino? Is that some random soldier, Japanese soldier?
幸運な犠牲だ
Or is that in Italian? Gino sounds like an Italian name. Yeah. Gino sounds like an Italian name, not a Japanese name. Gino. Is that like one of the corporals or something? Because we know the sign is called Angelo, but
あの手榴弾が不発でなかったら全員死んでる
yeah, and if you all had died, you wouldn't have been able to kill off. You wouldn't have been able to retaliate against the Japanese, and that means that the conclusion where Kinto and Beato are the only ones left wouldn't have happened, and the future of Rokkenjima would have been different, right? If that grenade had gone off and all Japanese would have been dead, then Yamamoto would have would have held the gold all for himself. The Kinto and Beato future wouldn't have gone as expected, especially Beato. Beato probably would have been killed off by Yamamoto, right? Beato would have had her executed or whatever. Yamamoto would have had Beato executed, and Kinto would have been depressed for the rest of his life, and we would have seen a very different Rokkenjima. That's for sure. That's for sure. A very different Ushirome family setup as well. Right? Yeah. The grenade was still running about on the floor. It had been a surprise attack. Lieutenant Yamamoto had probably judged that the negotiations would not go his way and had decided to make the first move. Or else, maybe he had been planning from the beginning to put them in the position of having to take a vote, in order to gather them all in one place. The lieutenant was thinking several steps ahead then. Rokkenjima belonged to the Japanese. If they killed all of the Italians, then not half, but all of the gold would go to them. There was still a chance the grenade might go off late. The Italians rushed out into the corridor. Fair. Yeah, you want to run away from the grenade. That's understandable. There, okay. They heard gunfire from down the hallway. It was coming from the direction of the submarine dock. Clearly, the troops guarding the pile of gold were being attacked.
少尉ご命令を
I mean, at this point, there should only be one order: to retaliate, right? What other option do you have? You can't negotiate. Just kill them all. Kill back.
やむを得ん
Yeah, I have no choice.
日本人は殺せ
Yeah, I mean, well, you have no other option. It's either kill or be killed at this point.
注意あいつはできますこの連中ただの船乗りだね
なるほど黄金の番人を任されるだけの兵士という人数はこちらが上だ焦らず囲んで殺せイタリア人狩りだ
Shots fired. A lot of shots fired, holy crap. As soon as I heard the sound of repeated gunfire, I knew that whatever it was that had been smoldering since the time the gold was unloaded had finally burst into flame. The eyes of our soldiers when looking at the gold had not been normal. Yes, those eyes had been entranced by demons. The Italians had also been at breaking point due to the heavy burden they bore. Who wouldn't have snapped after becoming trapped in a distant land where you can't understand the language or the writing? Thinking I had to do something, I ran towards the sound of gunfire. Looking back on it, that was an extremely foolish thing to do. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. What I would have, again, like I was saying earlier, what I would have done if I was Shinzo or at least a Japanese whatever person there, or even an Italian, I would have run immediately before the negotiations even started. I would have run off somewhere on the island and just found myself a cave or a hiding spot somewhere on the island. Immediately. And bro, the fighting started before I expected the fight to start at night or something. The fighting started before I expected it to start. This is what I mean. I would have run off as quickly as possible. The gold was unloaded. My thought process would go, yeah, alright, I'm running. I'm sneaking out of there where no one would see me, and then I'm running somewhere in the middle of the island. Somewhere, some tree or something I can hide in. Some behind a rock or whatever. Just hide. Run. There ain't no way I'm gonna stay in this bloodbath. That's what I would have done. That sound meant that there were people shooting at each other. Yeah, sure. People killing each other, yeah? And yet, unarmed as I was, I dashed toward the sound as though I was trying to mediate some schoolyard fight. To be fair, Kinzo, you did say you wanted to die in war. This is one way to die in quote-unquote war. This is one way you wanted to die, right? It didn't take long before I learned how foolish and naive such a thing was in the heat of battle. Warrant Officer Hiraoka was lying face down, his entire body drenched in blood. Judging by the trail of blood behind him, it was clear that he had somehow managed to crawl here from a different room before dying. RIP! No, he was still twitching. He might not be dead yet, huh? But, on this island without a doctor, no, even if he had a doctor, how could anyone possibly save a man who had been shot this many times in the chest? When I looked into the room he must have crawled out of, I saw 2 more bloodstained Japanese corpses. Dang. Where's Beato at? Where's Beato? You can say Beato at least. Maybe if you say Beato, then I fell backwards pathetically on my butt, my mouth hanging open in shock. Come to think of it, that was the first time I had ever faced death in my life. The entire world was at war. Even though billions were dying both east and west, this was the first time I met with a person's death directly. Ridiculous, baka-bakashi. Didn't I join the army hoping to die? Didn't I whine about not being sent to the front lines? Yeah, so rejoice, Kinzo. Isn't this the death you were looking for? Why not spread your hands and yell out loud? Come for me, magnificent death! You don't really want to die though, clearly. Someone came running towards me. It's Beato, right? It was a colleague of mine, a Japanese man. Tajima-kun. Okay, not Beato. He dashed towards me, pale-faced and out of breath. His face seemed horribly contorted with terror. Mine probably looked the same.
田島君、何があったんだ。
Yeah. He's telling you to run. That's all you have. Someone yelled in Italian, and at the same time, Tajima-kun let out a scream. Then he grabbed onto me as he fell to the floor. A red stain was spreading across his back before my eyes. Man, rip bozo. That's what you say. Move, Ben. As he spat bubbles of blood, he said that one word and died. But the shocking event of seeing someone die right in front of me did not capture my attention. No living thing is concerned with the death of others at a fundamental level. The one thing that matters is whether they themselves die or not. My attention was fully occupied by the barrel of the gun the Italian soldier was pointing. Did you shoot back, Kinzo? You shot back? Tajima's back burst once more as he leaned towards against me. Hey man, grab a gun, Kinzo. Shoot back at the Italian. He's gonna shoot you too. Flesh tore, blood splattered. The warm splash of it covered my face. That's kinda disgusting. Was the Italian still trying to finish him off, even though he had stopped moving for good? How foolish I've been. Can I still not understand the scene in front of me? Rejoice, Kinzo! Now you'll finally get what you've wanted all this time. The Italian had fired to finish off Tajima-kun. He had been aiming at the man Tajima-kun had fallen on. Me, Shiromiya Kinzo. I pushed his corpse aside, scrabbled against the floor, and dashed away, tumbling over myself. My hands had pushed off against the floor hard enough to tear off the fingernail on my wait. My hands had pushed off against the floor hard enough to tear off the fingernail on my left hand. Ouch! That sounds painful. When faced with death, humans surely can resist with all they've got, eh? I tumbled over and over as I ran, scraping up parts of my body. It was painful. Oh, but that didn't matter at all. I heard the yelling in Italian come from behind me over and over again. It felt like they were running, chasing after me. I didn't want to look back, so I kept on running and running, as though the Italians were right behind me. This is death. Didn't you want to die? No, I don't want to die. Why? Didn't I want to die so badly? But now I know. I know how wonderful it is to be alive. She taught me. I'm not saying that. No, I have to say it. Beachay did. God damn it! That's the dumbest nickname ever. Why are you giving her that nickname, man? Or, I mean, why did she allow that nickname to... Why did she accept that nickname, basically? I can only be free when I talk with her. No. For talking with her, I was finally alive for the first time. I was finally born. I want to live. Robin? I just came from reading One Piece. Now I'm reading more One Piece. I want to live. Yeah, alright. I want to live. Alright, you're really going full Robin mode. Nah, but yeah. That scene is not comparable to this scene. I don't want to die. I want to live and see her right now. If I don't see her, I'll die. I'll be killed. Stay cool, Kenzo. She might be killed too. If you live and she dies, you might as well be dead. Before I knew it, my face was covered in tears, snot, and drool. When I stumbled over something and fell, I was finally able to come to my senses a little. I could still hear intermittent gunfire. The gunfight was still going on, and it had spread throughout the entire base. Why are you having me say this visual novel? Okay. Beachay. Are you okay? Man, I can't take that nickname seriously. I'll find her and take her to a safe place. The lieutenant will probably kill all of the Italians to steal the gold. Beachay probably won't be an exception, no. That means you're gonna have to kill the lieutenant, you know that, right? If the lieutenant succeeds in killing all the Italians, you're gonna have to kill him. Are you gonna be doing some killing as well, Kinzo? I mean, surely if you manage to get a hold of the gold, then... Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what the aftermath is. Meaning it was the first time I ever lived. The first time I was ever born. So if you die, I'll die again. I could feel every cell in my body being reborn. Not as Ishiruma Kinzo, but as a completely different Kinzo. Of course, I was terrified that I might really be shot if I went back. But I no longer wanted to die. In the truest possible sense. So, I was able to overcome my fear. We're gonna end the part there. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, it's the start of something real crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Umineko when they cry. We'll continue on with the bloodbath next time. Now, I told you guys that I only had an hour to read, and that was a pretty good, successful hour to read. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time for more Umineko. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this at least as much as I enjoyed reading it. And I'll see you guys next time for more Umineko. Alright, yo. Peace.